So returning Reed, our superstar out of Copeland, in the house with FTR. I don't much care for his actions, but he's back.
May I interrupt with a little breaking news?
I would love you to.
As announced at the tail end of the broadcast, Wednesday, Fight for the Fallen, Asheville, first ever Dynamax streamed on Max. It will now be Yuta, Claudio, and Mox against rated FTR.
I do feel like that's a bit of a unfair hometown advantage, seeing as all those guys are from Asheville. And
from unfair. They've seen what these people have been doing. I don't get close to the situation.
I know.
Felt good tonight, felt good. Let's talk about what Adam Copeland was doing. Broke off that chair, put it in Mox's mouth. I don't think he's going to be playing around. He's going to try to fight violence with violence. Yeah, it was a bit much.
I can't really insert my own opinion on it, so I would rather you guys kind of take it without me making it uncomfortable for everybody.
Well, it is uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable amount of violence. He got out of the mic, Gold Mox kid.
Spoke about his...
Yeah. Let's talk about some other aspects of the four-way. Christian seemed very happy for like the first 3 quarters of the match. And also, I don't know if you noticed, Hook was in like the balcony next to him, keeping an eye on the
balcony off, keeping an eye on the whole situation. Yeah, Christian's a very shifty man, but he's got that future championship opportunity in his hands. He just needs to sign on the dotted line, and away he goes. But this obviously puts a wrinkle in that plan, having the returning Adam Copeland.
Yeah, no doubt he wants to probably, odds are he wants to cash in tonight, right?
Yeah.
And this guy is one of the sneakiest individuals.
I will say, being
it's the worst guy to have that. Honestly, who is sneakier than Christian?
Truly nobody.
How sneaky and shifty. You call him, and yeah, fair enough. I think he had a couple really close opportunities tonight. Mox got put through that table, had a huge gash on the back of his head.
How close? Yeah, what was the gash on the back of the head about?
I do not know. What happened? Is that on the table? I must have been. Yeah.
I didn't look that bad. I think it's okay. I think he's alright.
I will also say, interesting, Orange Cassidy's packs to all stay together or take out Mox did not seem to both well. He seemed to get into it a lot with Hangman.
Do you think that there's anybody that really stood out tonight to kind of separate themselves from the pack? You know, given that we still have John as the world champion, but do you think of those 3 other guys that anybody else stood out?
I think it was Jay White. I mean, to be clear, whatever you run up, you want to say, had the match won, it seemed. I mean, didn't work out. Got his hands on the ring.
Sure did.
That was fun.
Yeah. He did happen. Another return that we got to see tonight, Kenny Omega. You guys, this man looks like $1 million in a beautiful suit. He's back where he belongs. I was so happy to see Kenny out there tonight. Him face to face with Kazuchika Okada, now still our Continental Champion. Beautiful thing tonight. What do you think we're going to see from Kenny? We know that he's got Wrestle Kingdom coming up very soon, just around the corner. But here, what's the plan?
Let's not worry about Kenny right now. I'm so happy Kenny's back. It just feels right. It feels like AEW. He's back in Orlando.
Yes.
God,
Christopher Daniels has been relieved of his duties.
Yeah, thank God. This is what bothers me. We're all talking about Kenny.
Yes.
When Okada cemented his status as the greatest tournament wrestler of all time, you beat Ricochet and you beat Ospreay in one night. I don't think anyone else comes close. That is what we should be discussing.
But also, this is what we were talking about on 0 Hour. This is the Okada that we wanted to see. We all know that it's there, but him coming out and having more of these comedic moments, calling everyone bitch. I want to see show up and have those. It is great. I'm not taking away from it. It's great. But the Okada we saw tonight back to back in those matches.
It's like telling Babe Ruth, oh, what are you doing? You go to the park and you just throw the ball with you can. When he's ready to hit a home run, he'll hit a home run.
I'm greedy. I want the home runs.
He defended the Continental Championship throughout this tournament.
Yep.
That is, I mean, no, I don't think I saw that happening. Honestly, I know he's the greatest tournament wrestler of all time, but just to see somebody come in with that championship, knowing he could just, one loss. He started the tournament with a draw.
Yes.
Right. He started the tournament with a draw. Did not start well. What do you think somebody else thinks? Someone who called you multiple times during 0 Hour, that being
he just texted me right now.
So you got Eddie Kingston sitting at home. His whole leg still in pieces.
Hell of a beard.
Watching this, thinking what? I mean, so he was the Continental Champion last year.
Yeah. Lost it to Okada. Okada goes on this tear. Still our Continental Champion. That's got to burn him up. Eddie Kingston is a very passionate man, as we all know. There's no way that is not like burning a hole through him right now.
14 missed calls from Eddie Kingston. This guy was feeling his away today, and you're right. It's burning his ass, no doubt about it.
Did you call him back?
No. For what?
Great. Just leave the high and dry. Now he's my problem. Stop texting me.
There's no positive stuff about that conversation.
Respond to this, man. So yes, congratulations to Okada, but also I think that there is still congratulations to Will Ospreay. And we saw what he went through that match with Kyle Fletcher. I got doused in some of the blood when I spoke to him after his match. He shook his head around, the blood went flying everywhere. The man's an absolute mess. Then went in to have that match with Okada. I mean, Ospreay's Ospreay. We know he's incredible, but he showed up tonight yet again.
But I have to say, I'm shocked that he beat Kyle Fletcher. I think it's so. What happens? Kyle Fletcher is a guy who loses and will come back with a new game plan. Like Kyle said, with the company he keeps, what does he come back with now?
I mean,
you gotta think he's gonna go after one of the championships. Looking at my boy Daniel Garcia, he already defeated him last week on Dynamite.
Yep.
I can definitely see that being a matchup in the future. I'll tell you who else I was a little disappointed with tonight.
Oh, tell us.
Ricochet.
Oh, okay. Do you want to air your grievances further?
I think Swerve got to him. And I thought a man who's been so active on Twitter the past few days, rolling in the trolls. Yeah, I don't care what anyone says.
He got spun up in it. I mean, he got sucked into his own mind game.
He got TP.
And
that definitely can happen to him, right? Like, billboard material, you put it out there, and then it comes back and bites in the ass.
Yeah, you think that you can handle it until all of a sudden you're inundated with it. Not even just on social media, but in the ring. We saw it at Hammerstein with the toilet paper being thrown at him. Saw it again tonight, obviously instigated by Swerve Strickland. But Swerve's another guy that has a really big plan. I think he's always got stuff up his sleeve.
Hey, did you know you might get a big cash payout if you were in a car accident last year? Yep, even if you weren't driving. Just click the link around this video.
And we'll see what he has in store for Ricochet.
Can you imagine how much Swerve does not like Ricochet, that he was waiting backstage with a wagon of toilet paper? Yeah, that's not who he is. Yeah, he's got to figure this out. He's throwing a lot of stuff against the wall. He's got to figure it out.
And fast, yes, real fast. Mercedes Moné, still our TBS champion against Chris Statlander. Yet another incredible match from these two women. There were some moments during that match when I was like, I thought that was it. Yeah, I mean, Chris Statlander took some hellacious beatings.
I just don't know. We say, oh, they're great matches. It was great last time. It was great this time. But the result is Mercedes 2, Stat nothing.
And much to the sense of what I was saying with Okada, I feel like we're getting that with Mercedes now too. We know she's so good. But lately, I feel like she has really stepped up to remind people why she is Mercedes Moné, why she's trying to change wrestling, especially for women. And, she's got to go to Japan very soon to defend her strong championship against Mina Shirakawa. She has a match tonight. Like, she's doing all the things and still has the gold over her shoulder.
You think it's one of those things, kind of to your point, where we're talking about Mercedes and Okada, where it's Tom Brady, Mahomes, where you get used to seeing this greatness where they deliver over and over and over a period of years, where it just becomes second nature, and then it almost it just goes over your head.
You get a little comfortable on the glory.
Yeah, speaking of Wrestle Dynasty, I would be remiss if we didn't mention the International Women's Cup.
Yes.
Willow is in it.
Yep.
Winner with perhaps get a title shot they're choosing. I think it's a good deal.
I think it's a great deal.
And if I was Mercedes, not only do you have to deal with Mina, then I'd be keeping my eye on that match.
And speaking of the women's still, you get a future championship opportunity. We've got to look at the AEW Women's Championship. Mariah May still has that gold in her clutches. Were you surprised that Thunder Rosa didn't get the job? Did you get both set?
Yeah.
You got both set Thunder Rosa, right?
Yeah, Thunder Rosa as well.
Okay, and here we are.
She was losing it backstage.
Yes, she was.
She was absolutely losing it. She is not a happy woman.
I don't blame her. Like I said before, like you want to pick the stipulation of this. You want a street fight, bring your dad in. You suck the soil from graveyards in Tijuana, like you make this big pomp and circumstance situation, and if you don't hold up your end of the bargain, back in line.
Father danger. Yes. In a way, right? Yeah. But like had the cane pulled from him. Yeah. Not really. The finish. Not quite like Thunder Rosa. No, not at all. Far behind the face. Really high the table. Yes. But back to the same stat match. Quite frankly, the past few months, stats been all over the match. Matt. Yeah. We're still in. It's a great question. I think something. I think it's safe to say. Not anything good. Yeah. Certainly. I think she was against Willow for so long. Now she's trying to get back to the graces.
Yes, I mean I was there when Willow was talking about the International Cup and what her future looks like. And then Chris Statlander walks in, and all of a sudden it's like she is trying to mend this bridge between the two of them. Of course, they've got such a storied friendship between the two of them. But where they go from here, who knows? What version of Chris Statlander we see after falling short against the TBS championship? I don't know where she goes from now.
But Will Hobbs not getting it done.
Ooh.
Yes, tonight. Still the international champion.
Okay, unfortunate for Will Hobbs, who I love, but man, Takeshita is so damn good. He's one of my favorite guys here to watch. Dare I say, match of the night? I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
That one was machine. Let's go. If you're Don Callis, right? How do you think Don's?
Oh my God, Don's just walking around. He's tan. He's got on some spiky loafers somewhere.
He's probably looking for Fletcher win, right? At least one. Yeah. Hoping to get through Osprey again. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
But
the future is still very bright for Kyle Fletcher. He'll move on. He'll
say that for so long.
He's 25. Come on.
26 is produced this week. I've seen many 25-year-olds crashing through these chickens. Please, he has to keep his head about it.
MJF and Adam Cole.
This guy, we're gonna lose the ring.
Do we have to steal the ring, perhaps?
It's been tried. We pawned it off this year.
Yeah, I don't know. He's got the ring again. Adam Cole seemed to get a little bit of the last laugh, however, tonight. So
did he really? That's not what he set out to do. Let's be honest. He's trying to recoup the losses. I understand. Oh, my friends are here. You'll have friends. You'll have friends.
Yeah.
Okay. In case of this guy's fine. Don't talk to him. They're my friends. What does Adam Cole do to get back on track? It's tough, right?
I don't know. I mean, you think of the time that he's had off with injury to come back, not really sure where his place is, what he's trying to achieve. I mean, that is a really hard spot to be at in your career when you've achieved so much. You've had that spotlight on you. We were talking about what the future's looking like for you, and where you go from there.
I did not think of more talented guys.
Maybe it's a little dark.
Adam Cole gets dark. Maybe he's too nice. I mean, I know we pretend to be the devil.
Yeah.
You know,
maybe not.
Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Roger Strong, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett. I cannot think of a more talented group of guys. Sure. Gentlemen, get your shit together. I think they were time. Yeah, I can't help but wonder about like Adam Cole did. We were talking about injuries, right? He had major concussion issues a couple years ago.
He was off a lot.
Did he come back too early from this footage?
And it's not even necessarily did he come back too early, but it's like what version of you comes back after going through an injury like that? Not only are you physically mending your body, but we all know the mental stakes of being on the sidelines. Like that messes with you. We know he's been through it. So yeah, I don't know where he's at right now. Yeah, because he's such a nice guy. He's hard to read. He's always nice, Adam Cole. He's always in a good mood. Always got home. Like, how does he actually feel? I don't know.
Adam Cole when he goes home.
You know what? I'm really gonna about this. I'm going to.
Close.
Can we do that?
Let's move on to Fight for the Fall.
Yes.
New Year's Day. Oh, here we go. Other of all simulcasts. I don't know what else we can compare to in terms of simulcasts. Macy's Parade, perhaps. Well, let me read out this quote. As we mentioned, Jeff Ryder's Fox Audio User taking on Raven. Yep. Then we also have for a few weeks now, Jamie Hayter taking on Julia Hart. Oh, Julia Hart. Back up.
Yeah. I think Julia Hart is fantastic. I think she was also unfortunately sidelined by injury when her star was very much so on the ascent. So what version of her we get? I mean, we don't see this vignettes. I think really hooked a lot of people. But it's all very involved. Like she's so great. But then Jamie Hayter, I mean, another former women's champion that's going to beat the ever-loving crap out of anybody in the ring with her. She's terrifying. Yeah, I'm excited.
We've got Garcia and sorry. That will be on the list. We'll get to that. Lastly, on that Fight for the Fallen, Jeff Jarrett makes a special announcement about his career.
You spent a lot of time with Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, and Jarrett. Find gold online.
You know,
I got those with the Jarretts. I go look at Apple in New York. That's neither here nor there. What do I think it's about? He whispered it to Sanjay. Sanjay seemed upset. Didn't seem good. Sanjay seemed shocked. Didn't like to shock that guy. Some people seem confused. But I will say, I think back, it really was not that long ago in the summer. The Owen Hart tournament. Jeff, it's the passion speech about Owen Hart. I mean, this miracle run. Yeah. Does he have one less run in him? Is the sun setting? It could be anything. He's always a promoter, right? Jeff Jarrett. He's not going to disappoint us on Wednesday.
No, I agree. So Collision January 4th in Charlotte. We've got a TNT Championship match with Garcia and Briscoe. Looking forward to that one. Your boy Garcia, TNT Championship. What do you think we get with him and Mark Briscoe in this situation? We saw a little taste of it earlier tonight on the panel for 0 hour. What are we going to get?
Mark Briscoe beat Danny in the C2. Yep. It'll be a rematch. I don't know what Dan was thinking. Just handing out this title match just like that.
He was put on the spot in his defense.
So just say no.
You should have ran in and said no.
I will say that TNT title is an open challenge title. It's always been an open challenge title, and I think Garcia made kind of a mistake entering the Continental Classic with that title.
I disagree. I think it was very smart for him to stay busy. He knew how much the Continental Classic was going to be when everyone's eyes were on. I think he was very smart to enter it.
I think now he has a couple people who think they have his number. One being Mark Briscoe.
Let's see what happens. We've also got the AEW Tag Team Championships on the line on Collision Private Party versus Leo Rush in Action Andretti. I'm very excited to see Private Party step back in that ring. What a reaction these guys get. They stepped out from the crowd tonight. I want to see more from them. Need more tag team action. But we saw a lot of that tonight. I think
absolutely. I mean, the team that I'm looking forward to seeing most are Andretti and Leo Rush.
Yeah.
The jackets.
I love the jacket.
I wish they could
I don't like the jacket. I thought it looked like the Turtles from Mario Kart.
Yeah. What are we talking about? Just gonna make a match. Like one has the long sleeves, one has like the whole match.
Right.
But I love the spikes. I love to see this backstage. Two of the most angry, fired up people I've seen.
Good. Yeah. That's what we need. Yeah, fired up. Speaking of Deonna Purrazzo, she approached the rookie Tony Storm tonight and asked for this match. First time ever. Yeah, it's gonna happen.
First time ever again.
Yeah, again.
It all begins again. What's wrong with this one?
All right, guys. So Fight for the Fallen, New Year's Day. We will see you there. HBO, the mother of all simulcasts, will be going down on January 4th in Charlotte. This is it for our post show for 0 hour. But media here, stay here. We're gonna get to the media scrum with Mr. Tony Khan.
Post show, pre-scrum.
That's right.
Thanks, guys.
Oh shit.
Really just said thanks, guys. You better put Tony Khan on there.
What if your data helped
wanted to
fuel your
watch.
discipleship? Providing engagement insights that allow you to meet people where they are in their faith journey. Letting go of logistics in favor of love. Freeing yourself to be there for people.
I don't know
What
if
if you could
that's
focus
the
on the
right
one? Confident
faith Christianity type stuff
the
is legit. talking about love and acceptance, and yeah, I'm starting to think that's some Antichrist Aleister Crowley perversion type stuff. I'm trying to pull this up. I can't even exit out to click. Getting to the point where it's at, since it does its stupid ads. You click on it and it's a whole... Excuse me, guys, I'm trying here. Only doing what it's giving me. Only allowed what it allowed me to. You can see I'm trying to skip through to get to the point. Don't put them on for 5 minutes or some crap. You go, oh, it's a great show. Great.
Like,
Eyes are all
reportedly with the rest.
wide.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate
Oh, the hugs. The fake hugs. The pansy hugs. You're gonna hug someone to actually do it. Wrap your arms around them. Touch your bodies. You freaking pansies. Ain't no way. That's not how we get down around here.
Thank you, Dan.
Pansy.
Good to see you.
Pansy hug.
Thank you, everybody.
Good to see
Appreciate
you.
it. I'm very excited.
You probably saw him
Going to be
earlier.
joined by multiple people here, joined by Rated FTR.
Oh, what did they do? Hold your people hostage to get a reaction?
Sharing it.
Kidding me? Delayed much?
It's excellent.
All right, I'm
Welcome
going to kick
back.
it right off to you guys to fire away and start asking some questions. Here you go.
Yeah. Right. Reportedly with the Wrestling Observer. I want to talk to Adam about his recovery from the leg, broken leg. The broken leg.
broke
yeah.
your leg?
I did. I'm old. Especially with the run that you are on right now. How was the recovery? And basically, again,
Well, you're
you see
selling your
yourself
exercise
trying to
equipment.
do the same stuff that you were doing prior to that match in regards to cages or, in regards to your body.
It's one of those deals.
Listen,
Like, if you watch my
breaking
career,
papers.
it's not out of my character to do insane things. It's kind of what I do every once in a while. Like, I'll get a hair up my ass and decide, yeah, I'm going to dive through a flaming table. Sure.
I was gonna say, get right there for
So
me.
that's just me. It's kind of hardwired into me. I also think it's part of why I've gotten to where I've gotten. That being said, I also realize that I'm closer to the tail end of my career than the beginning. So,
No.
and I have kids now, so there's a different mindset that goes into it. But in terms of recovery, I'm still lucky in that I recover like Wolverine. And part of that is I just go after it. The day I can go after it is the day I do it. And I've actually been cleared for a while, but Tony and I have the conversation is our area got hit by a hurricane. So it was much more important to be home. I mean, we just got the water boil advisory lifted 3 weeks ago. So we've been using bottled water to brush our teeth and wash our hands for, close to 3 months. So when real life hits like that, suddenly this, it has to take a second
Bottled
place.
water
And
whatnot.
luckily we're at a place where that is considered and respected. But in terms of being back and ready, I'm just ready to go, because every month for me at this stage feels like a year. So I got to get in. I got to get cooking.
Speaking of Asheville, North Carolina, this Wednesday, it will be Rated FTR versus the Death Riders. I think that's a great way to talk about
Yeah,
Asheville
John Mox.
and what's coming up and pro wrestling, which is what brought us all here, but also what's happening in Asheville, which is a very real situation and hits very close to home for so many people, and in particular these three Asheville natives.
If I could say something about Adam, right? It's hard for me. I'm sure you guys know, to bite my tongue on a lot of things, and if I feel strongly about something, I want to say it. But this man is one of the greatest of all time, right? And I think we all know that. His career is everybody decides when they start professional wrestling. Just because he is who he is, or at the age that he is, why can't he on the top of a cage and dive off? Why can't he? If he wants to do it, and he's out of Copeland, he's had the career he's had. Why? So we have some of his peers,
That's
we have
why
some
he
people
just
that like to
lost a year of
criticize
his
what we do,
career.
and they ask him, they question him. This is
Shut
Adam
up,
Copeland.
you
This is Adam fucking Copeland.
That's
If he wants to jump
such
off
a
the cage, let him jump off the cage. If he breaks his leg, he breaks his leg. Oh well, we move
You're
on. And we come back. That's what we do.
embarrassing
We come back. That's all I'm
yourself.
saying.
Just
He's a
let
little
it
too nice to say.
go.
That's all I'm saying.
Don't say, oh,
Leo,
if he wants to do it,
so
let him
I
do
have a
it.
question for you. Besides
He
obviously
wants
going
to
after John
jump on
Moxley,
birds,
what
let him do
other
it.
goals do you have in mind going into this next year? Possibly winning capturing titles going into next year, or what on your mind?
I mean, if you can think of a goal, that's what we're going after. You know, I think they should be tag team champions. I think we should win the trios championships. I'm going after the world heavyweight championship. You know, for a while when I first got here, I was like, okay, I'm here. I got to get the lay of the land. I got to get everybody to know who I am. But that's gone. Now it's time to be here to make a difference, to show everybody exactly who I am, exactly who they are. There's a reason that I've accomplished everything I've accomplished in this industry, and there's a reason that nobody can scratch what I've accomplished. Take a look. Nobody can. And it may sound egotistical, it may sound cocky, but when it's true, it's just confidence. So my plan is to go after John Moxley in a match that you've never seen before between two guys who are at the top of their field, and go out there and do what we do, which is to have kick-ass, old, grinding, gritty NWA World Heavyweight title matches type vibe. That's what I want to him, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And it's going to happen soon.
Matches. Long.
Those blue shorts work.
Selling.
Bro,
Kick
the
out.
first month is free.
Headlocks.
EJ Marino flickering mid.
Don't get me
Ash,
started on that
you guys
CIA
are great with bonding
agenda.
with the wrestler. You guys have amazing chemistry.
The
Almost
first
everyone
month
you
is
do
free,
What is it about
bro.
Adam that
Just
you guys
put
think
it
this
in
is
your
going to be
body.
the journey that it's going to be?
For me, it's been 12 years plus in the making. Like I met him in 2009 after being a fan for many, many years, and we became friends. And without me even having to ask, he went out of his way to give me advice and to watch my matches and give me critiques and just help me out in so many different ways. He let me live with him in his guest house without paying him a dime for way too long, just so I could chase this stupid ass dream that I love so much. And I didn't have to worry about where I was going to come home to or if I could afford rent that month, because he made sure that I could do this and not have to worry about it. And I mean, I just think that one, we know how to play to the strengths of the people that we work with, and vice versa. But also, like, we are legitimate best friends in real life. Three of us, we
Don't worry, I got a
we
guest
love each other. We
house for
communicate
you.
all the time. We want to do things together, like in this business that we enjoy. And I think this is just, you know, without getting too personal, I don't have to sleep working anymore. See, that's your answer. No, but there's some family stuff I'm dealing with right now, and if it wasn't for this right here, nothing would have gotten me on the airplane today. Nothing would have gotten me here other than getting to go out there with my two best friends and do this. And I think that's just one of the many reasons it's going to be special. I think it's easy in life for all of us to be selfish, right? And not like in a negative way. It's just sometimes we think of ourselves as the center of our universe because we don't think bigger picture. But surrounding myself with these guys, and even though he has his family, and I have my family, Cash has his family as well. I don't think there's ever been a time where we've not thought about what's best for the three of us. And you know, my daughter, his daughters, they're friends. Obviously, I'm friends with Adam and his wife. I'm friends with Cash, and we're all more than just friends. We're all a family. And you know, you've heard it said a lot of times that the most successful professional wrestling is an extension of real life. And I think this is going to be that extension of real life. As far as like you know, always working well with everyone, I think it's up for debate. You know, behind the scenes, it's up for debate. But when it comes down to it, the three of us love professional wrestling almost more than anything in the world. I've always said it a million times. I'm sure I'm going to get shit for saying this. For me, it's God, my family, and wrestling, and these guys. And I think they feel the exact same way.
Brian Rose, good wrestling. Adam, for you mentally, what was it like getting back to this moment of rehab?
You know, rehab, it's strange, but I enjoy it. I know that sounds really masochistic, but like I enjoy the challenge of proving what I know in my heart. And that is, yeah, you get back to this. Like, that's how I picture it. Okay, surgery, got it. Okay, when do I get to work? That's how I approach injuries, and it's kind of how I approach life. So it's just one more. It's one more scar. It's one more story. It's one more chapter in the next book. It's life. It's part and parcel of what we do. This isn't an easy, you know, occupation. So you know going in that there's going to be stuff, and you just have to roll with it and put your nose to the grindstone. And I've never had a problem doing that.
Hey, Adam, I'm Jay with BTR.
Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Good. Nice to have you back. Thanks, man. Hey, man. So you've been the same, but also changed over you know, your entire course of your career. What's your character? What's been your mindset behind the constant evolution of Adam Copeland?
You know, I guess it's a little more subtle now. But this is probably the closest to the actual person behind the character, I think, which is fun. Like, I won't lie. I told my girls, I was like, hey, girls, check it out. Our last name's on an action figure. That was the first time in 30 years, and that was amazing. And I was able to sit with them and just, like, look at our last name on an action figure, and that was so amazing to be able to kind of share that moment with them. And it was surreal. But, man, it's the only thing I ever wanted to do, right? There was no second plan. There was no fallback option. There was no everything I did from the time I can remember. I was sitting in art class in the 9th grade drawing my outfits that then saw the light of day, by the way, and picturing what Jay and I and Christian and I would do if we wrestled Owen Hart and British Bulldog. You know, and then I find myself in the ring with Owen Hart 6 years later. I dreamed about this. These guys dreamed about this. And, you know, talking about us and our chemistry and our friendship. Yeah, our kids go to school together. You know, we're best friends. You know, we all just, you know, went through what we went through in our area. These guys have helped me train and get back from every injury. You know, when I came back from my first retirement, these were the guys that I trusted to get in there with them after 9 years to bump me around to see if I still had it. I didn't trust anybody else but these two. And yeah, it's our friendship. But it's also because, like, for instance, you know, Cash, Daniel, sorry, he went to Gold Gym, right? And I just moved to Nashville. And as you can tell, there's the gun show. But for about 6 months I trained there. And then finally one of the other trainers came up and said, you know, he's a wrestler, right? I was like, what? So I went up to him and was like, dude, I didn't know you were a wrestler. Like, why didn't you tell me? Send me some matches. And then he sent me matches like, oh, you're good. Like, you're not just good, you're good. And then, you know, it all, you know, kind of fell into place from there. And then they started teaming. And I saw them team for the first time. I was like, oh my God, these guys, they got it. They know it. They get it. They can have a great match with anyone. So yeah, I'm gonna latch on to that as much as I can. But I really do. Also, it's gonna be a blast. Like, you got real life friends out there, and that translates.
What does it mean, Adam, for you to have your first match back in Asheville, North Carolina, and for all three of you, what does it mean to have your first match?
I'm sorry if it keeps flipping upside down. I've got it in my pocket here.
I'll answer first if that's cool, guys. But you know, it's no, so much for chemistry. No, it's one of those deals. Like, you know, Beth and I moved to Asheville in 2011 because we fell in love. We decided that's a good place to raise kids, and we loved the area. And then so So to be able to come back to our first show on HBO Max, streaming there, kicking off the new year after tonight, it just feels like we've kicked the doors off this thing, and it's time to keep this rolling, to get some momentum rolling and get moving, and to do it in Nashville. You know, I'm gonna have so many friends there, so much family there, all of the people that have gone through these last few months there, just to try and forget about everything a little bit and just have a good time. And we're gonna have a blast. You know, Death Riders might not, but we will. So I don't even know if Tony would want me to say things like this. But if I get fired, I'll let you guys know. Tony could have chosen. So this is the very first show ever simulcasted from TBS and from HBO Max. Or Max. Sorry, for Max. Tony could have chosen any huge market, right? He could have chosen LA. He could have chosen New York. He could have chosen Chicago. Any huge market world said, okay, we're gonna have this simulcast from Chicago, Illinois, or Los Angeles, California. He could have. And the initial plan was not to be in Nashville, right? But us three met at our wrestling school and we said, okay, what can we do to bring some hope and some joy to Asheville? And we had the idea of maybe doing like a live event in Nashville and talking to Tony and having some of the guys come out and just raising money. And Tony said, I'll do you one better. Why don't we do Dynamite in Nashville, right? And Tony said, and what we'll do is we'll take the money, you know, a certain amount of money that we make in Nashville, and we'll give it to the local charities like the Love Nashville, Mana Food Bank, the Dream Center in Nashville, North Carolina, and of course things like the Blood. Thank you guys.
They're making money.
So he did all these things, and he did it because he thought it would be a good thing, not because it would make Dynamite look the best, not because it would make AEW look the best, but like I said, we could have gone to any huge market. We decided to come to Nashville to help raise spirits, raise awareness, raise a little bit of money for everybody. Really easy. So it's super important to us. It's super important to us as a company. It's full circle for myself, Cash, and Adam too. It's a full circle moment for us because we get to perform on national, international television in our hometown, in front of our family and our friends, but also at the same time bring this awareness to a town that absolutely needs it still.
The Panera you picked who you've always loved now has a price you'll love even more. Starting at $8.98, mix 2
Yeah, so when I finally got to where I wanted to be in wrestling, Adam had been forced to retire. Adam was forced to retire way too soon, and so I felt like we were never going to have any chance to have any sort of crossing in the ring, whether it's as a team or get to wrestle him at any point. Like, I thought no chance ever, and then fast forward a few years, and we get in the ring and just test it out, see how his neck feels, see how he feels in the ring for the first time, and it's like, oh, this is good enough. Like, we get to wrestle around, I get to bump him, beat his ass like I should. It's a total badass. But then, like, fast forward a few more years and he's back, but we're in separate companies, and again, it's like, man, it's never going to happen. And finally, he comes over here to AEW, and it's like we can actually make this work. And I never could have imagined if it was going to happen, that the first time we ever, as a trio, stepped in the ring together for a match was going to be in Asheville. Like, that's how we looked at it as a 15-year-old kid, and it never would have happened, but it is happening, and it's for the best possible reason. Like, it's so we can raise money for people who lost everything, and it's to raise awareness to people that are still going through this 3 months later. A lot of the world's moved on and got forgotten about that. And you can't leave right through it. And you see the destruction every day. You see the debris. You see the tents. Like, it's communities of tents camping out by a river homes because hundreds of homes are washed away. So it's winter. You know, like, it's the coldest time of year. It's people living in tents. And it's heartbreaking. So to have a boss who wants to bring awareness to that and bring his biggest show ever to that, the first one ever simulcast on Max and the first one of the new TV rights deal, it's going to be in Asheville. It's going to be rated FDR. That's amazing to me. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I do this for. It's the kind of stuff that I live for. It's a storybook ending. Like, I'm so excited for it. I have probably 2,000 family members coming to that one, so it's going to be a sellout. Guys, thank you very much. Thank you guys.
Mr. Tony Khan, everybody.
Thank you very much, Renee. I feel fantastic. I'm so excited about AEW World End. I'm so excited about Fight for the Fallen. We had a great night tonight, and we have so much to look forward to. Just like FTR was saying, we have a huge simulcast coming up, and like Cash was saying, it's the first show of the new media rights deal. Probably lots of questions, and great to see all of you here. Thank you for coming to AEW World End, and with that, we can take more questions.
Let's get into the questions. Lots of things going on here with AEW, so fire away.
Agent Marino flickering with Tony. December seems to be a special time for AEW. Going back to the debut of Sting, Kenny Omega, the wonderful Brody Lee tribute, now 2 Continental Classics in a row. What is it about this time of year that brings out this side of you and this side of the roster as well? I really appreciate you saying there's been a lot of great AEW moments in December. I totally agree, and I think that the Continental Classic this year in particular was fantastic. We just saw rated FTR closing the night with the Death Riders. So many great moments tonight. I thought the matches this evening really delivered. I thought the TBS title match, the Women's World title match, International title, top to bottom, so many great matches. You mentioned the Continental Classic. I really thought the Continental Classic matches delivered. The Continental Classic tonight in particular delivered really top to bottom over the last several weeks. So many great matches, 33 great matches across all the shows since Thanksgiving Eve, and so many great moments, and it culminated in something really special tonight with the return of Kenny Omega. We're really excited to have Kenny Omega back in AEW, and I thought that was a really great surprise, and great moment, and that was something I'm very excited about too. And I love wrestling around the holidays. So many great moments, memories in wrestling, like holiday memories and moments, and I think it's just a great time of the year in the wrestling business. And then there's always so much to look forward to in AEW. January is the records reset, start of a new year. We always have great shows in January, and I think this year in particular there's so much to look forward to with Fight for the Fallen, what we were just talking about, the trios match, the Death Riders and rated FTR, all the great reasons why Fight for the Fallen is for a great cause in a community, Asheville, North Carolina, where Wednesday show is going to do a lot of good, but it's a really important show in the history of AEW, which is why it was so important tonight to have all these great moments, matches, and to have the return of Adam Copeland and the return of Kenny Omega on the same night. Really exciting stuff, and the Continental Classic really did deliver, I thought, this year. So many great things, and it was a great night. Next question over here. Tony, similar, Leo with the Wrestling Classic, similar to the question I asked Adam, what are some of the goals going into this next year? Obviously, with the huge show going on Wednesday in Nashville, bringing awareness to that, and of course now being the first simulcast show as well for you guys. What are some other major goals or points you want to see the company reach as well going into next year? Well, it's a great question. I think we have some really exciting opportunities, and this week is going to be massive for us. 2 huge shows in North Carolina. Wednesday night, the Mother of All simulcast, our first show streaming on Max, and so huge to be still in the staple of cable and really the staple of pro wrestling, TBS and Superstation. it's a huge opportunity. And January 1st represents a really, really big night for AEW, Fight for the Fallen. And also, I think it's important to reflect on what Dax and Cash and Adam were just talking about. This is really for a great cause, and it's important to reflect on what's happening there. So it's a lot of important things happening in AEW at this time. And for us, it's a great opportunity for the entire company, for really everybody who works here, and in particular, the great wrestlers in AEW, a great chance for everybody to step up and deliver on the big stage with a new opportunity. It's great to have a chance like this to debut on a new platform with AEW on Max, but also continue on TBS. And so for everybody who likes watching AEW on TBS every Wednesday or TNT every Saturday, it's going to continue that way, but also it's a great opportunity to make a lot of new fans who are watching on Max, people that use that platform, get great advertising opportunities, and it's only going to be beginning January 1st this Wednesday. And I thought having so many great matches and moments and rivalries coming out of tonight really sets the stage for this Wednesday and then Saturday, 1 week from tonight, Charlotte, for the first AEW Collision, the streaming here on TNT. I think having great matches, great moments there, really important. And then we saw advertisements, we saw a lot of really anticipation also tonight for AEW Revolution, March 9th in Los Angeles, and also July 12th in Arlington, Texas, AEW All In. And I think we can really start the year off right this Wednesday. Hey, how's it going? Tony Corey Hayes with BodySlam.net. Congratulations on another successful event tonight with World's End, September 2024 with the Bang. Speaking of success, AEW Ring of Honor ran the Hammerstein Ballroom last week, and it seemed like it was a pretty big success with everybody showing out in the atmosphere there. Could you see Hammerstein Ballroom potentially being a holiday tradition here? I really love being in the Hammerstein Ballroom. I thought that was a tremendous weekend for AEW. Big success, having the great shows, having the Christmas Dynamite, and before that, a Christmas Collision. Really a great holiday weekend. I would be very open to that, and I think anytime we can go back there would be great for AEW. It was a huge success and great for AEW Collision to have one of the biggest ratings in the history of the show, the biggest rating in a year and a half, one of the all-time numbers, and a great opportunity for us, but also against a lot of great competition. So on a really crowded Saturday night, we made the most of an opportunity in a very competitive landscape and put up one of the best numbers the show's ever done, and delivered, I thought, across Saturday on TNT and then Wednesday on TBS. One of the best sets of shows we've ever done. So Hammerstein Ballroom, the setting and the fans, they were a huge part of it, and I really enjoyed watching the show with my family on Christmas. It was very nice, and really I thought the show was delivered. So absolutely, I'd love to go back to Hammerstein, whether it's holidays or anytime. The New York fans are awesome, and the Hammerstein setting, the fans, those nights were tremendous. Thanks for asking.
Hey, Corey Lee with the Wrestling Observer. Now, there has been what I would consider a lot of chatter online, negativity in regards to the product. And obviously, you're just coming off a brand new television deal. You're going to be on Max. You're going to be doing all this stuff. Do you guys have at least a strategy for next year to try to combat a lot of this negativity that festers online and is basically done for almost monetary reasons to basically bring down what you guys are doing when you guys are literally, having in regards to money, your best year that you've had since you've started. Just like I said, I see online, and it's difficult. It's hard to watch if you're a fan of AEW to see just again a lot of negativity.
It's hard to watch,
and it's very negativity as well. So
I think there's, like you said, so many great positive things. I'm really excited about all the great things we're doing, and like you said, it is the biggest year in terms of success and achieving a big goal in the history of AEW. That's really saying something. Last year we made a lot of history. Going to Wembley Stadium, we sold 81,035 tickets. Over 81,000 tickets sold. We set the world record for tickets sold. And even then, people tried to poke holes in what we did last year, saying, we only sold, allegedly, people said 73,000. We sold 81,000. In fact, people even tried to hold up 73,000. If it even was that, like, it would be a bad thing. That's amazing. What an amazing achievement to have the kind of success we had at Wembley Stadium. That's an amazing achievement. Then this year to make a historic media rights deal, which really sets the stage for what we were just talking about with Rated FTR, for what's happening with the Death Riders, and all the great things that are going to be coming at the Mother of All simulcast this Wednesday, which, like you said, sets the stage for a new media rights deal, sets the stage for a new platform for us. But really, I just think it's like the biggest opportunity and the biggest moment for us. It's really when we first set out with AEW years ago. This was the big goal, to do something sustainable. This was always the big opportunity out there in front of us. We renewed the media rights contract actually in January 2020. We just started, and they were really happy with us, and we got a new deal. And it was a big deal for Dynamite, and it even gave us opportunities going forward that were beyond what anybody could have ever hoped at the start of AEW, but it was only the beginning. And then when we did that deal, we knew that, okay, coming out of 2024, there's going to be a real opportunity for AEW to become one of the largest sports organizations in terms of television, and also this opportunity to enter into streaming. And there are so many favorable figures about AEW. I learned things in the media rights negotiation about AEW that I didn't know. The affinity of AEW fans, the empirical evidence that AEW's fans are so loyal to the product and so happy with the product and so committed to it, it's really, really strong. And I think our digital presence is really going to grow starting this week with the launch of AEW on Max. There's a great opportunity for new fans to come to the show, and for everybody who watched the show on TBS for years can keep watching the show on TBS. But I think people will also really enjoy the streaming experience and a chance for people to go back and watch a lot of the classic AEW shows, recent shows. We'll start building out that library of content, and really, I think so many great things happening. But anytime we do something great in AEW, I think it's amazing to look back at how many great things have happened in 5 years. But anytime we have a chance to do something like what we're going to do this Wednesday and the Saturday with our first simulcast on TBS and TNT with Max, it's massive, and that's why it was great to be able to sit up here with FDR and talk about what is going to happen this Wednesday and this week with the launch of our simulcast.
Your work-life balance? It's non-existent.
Shut up, lazy bum.
Fight for the Fallen, the Rated FTR, but also, like I said, it's happening for a really, really good cause, and that's a really positive impact too. There's a big business side, and we can talk for a long time about the business milestones, but I think also the impact we can make on the community and the good things we can do with the show and raising awareness. Not only the money we'll raise from the substantial live gate and the proceeds from the show, but also money that will be raised by raising awareness of what's happening in North Carolina, what happened to the community, and how everybody can help that's watching the show at home on Wednesday, January 1st, New Year's Day. Thanks.
Two more questions, guys.
Hey, Tony, Jay Radic with the Orlando Sentinel. You stepped up, you drew a big house, a big crowd tonight. WWE also stepped up as competition, drew a big house and a big crowd across town. What do you think that means in terms of the competition, and what does it mean to Orlando as a wrestling town?
It's great for the city of Orlando with two major pro wrestling events happening on the same night. There were thousands and thousands of fans at both shows. We had a capacity crowd here. This was so great being here. UCF and this arena have been tremendous hosts at the Addition Financial Arena. I think that for us in the community, it was great to have such an amazing support from the fans, and it shows how strong worldwide pro wrestling, particularly here in the United States, is to have in one major American city with two promotions running head-to-head on the same night to have two great crowds. And I know our fans here were awesome, and it was a great show tonight. Thanks to the Orlando fans who supported it all night. They were tremendous. Thank you.
Final question. Jacob Porter from the Orlando Tours Report. Just touching upon Orlando. Orlando, I think, is probably the city with the second most AEW matches. I'm just
curious, is there a favorite memory from Orlando that you have? That's a really interesting point. Orlando, we've had a lot of great matches here. That's a really good question. So many great matches, so many great memories here in Orlando. Of course, we shot a lot of AW Dark episodes at Universal Studios, and then we had Revolution 2022 here, and then at World's End here tonight. Tonight, really having Kenny Omega and Adam Copeland come back on the same night, that was pretty amazing. That would be up there for me to see them back in AW tonight. That would certainly be at or near the top. I think the Revolution 2022 was a fantastic show here, and there were so many great memories on that show from start to finish. From the first match, Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho, fantastic, all the way through the Adam Page, Adam Cole match, and everything in between. That was a great show and great memories here. A lot of great shows around Orlando, like you said, and tonight really getting Kenny and Adam back, that was pretty special. I was really excited about that. So that was a great 1-2 punch, and probably my favorite memory here for sure is the way things ended up tonight.
Hell of a memory.
Yeah, it was great. And a great way to end the year and start what's going to be a very special time for AW and for all of us. It's really, really great, and I really appreciate all you being here. It was right up the road in Jacksonville. It's crazy to think that it was, it's 6 years since we first launched and announced AEW, and it was coming up this week on the 6-year anniversary, and actually we announced it in a press release, and then a week later in Jacksonville, we made it official as a group. It was right up the road where that happened, and 6-year anniversary is coming right up, and what a way to celebrate it Wednesday night with the launch of AEW on Max and simulcast. So many of you have been covering AEW, coming to the shows, covering us online, and in the community. I appreciate everybody locally and nationally, internationally who traveled in for AEW World's End, everybody watching at home. It means the world, and it's such an important night for us tonight. It's going to be such an important week for us. Wednesday night, Fight for the Fallen in Asheville, and then Charlotte Saturday night on Collision. We get to make history and really write a very new and important chapter in AEW. So I'm very grateful. Thank you all for being here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. See you guys January 1st.
Yikes. That's a lot of great.